Chapter 579. As they were leaving the student trading company, Yidhir finally posed a question to Cashier that he had been unable to ask earlier. What exactly is the mirror of truth? It sounds grandiose, but it's not much. It's a magic artifact that can uncover something hidden in the subject it reflects. Kishir explained it was a sort of downgraded tool of an older seeking magic that ancient archmages once used. Nowadays, it was so difficult to even create such an artifact that he had to search for an old one, a process that apparently hadn't been smooth. This was one reason he had sought assistance from the student trading company. It's not universally applicable. It's most effective when you need to find out something unique about an object that has a magic enchantment. Surprisingly, Kishir didn't seem too pleased to have obtained the mirror of truth. When asked why, he simply smiled and answered succinctly. I was quite desperate to find it at the time, but now it has become useless. An object that was once desperately needed but now had no value to Kishir. There was only one explanation that fit. Did you acquire this for the Emperor? Correct. You do catch on quickly. Initially, it was intended to use on a relic sent by Prince Eugene. Yidhir recalled the relic that Kishir had recently received. He had not seen the actual form yet, but he already knew a few details about it from Prince Eugene. The object of a blind sage, presumed to be the Archmage Luma by the Nolan. If it's a mage's object, chances are it's close to a magic artifact. It wasn't uncommon to acquire one magic artifact to use another. Many ancient artifacts had lost their instructions or known effects. And the relic we received from the Nolan's prince is called Dream's Voice. According to records, someone who used it once was fully healed from injuries, regaining their prior physical state. However, the person who had used the relic didn't know how they had been able to use it. Despite many efforts to study it among the Nolan, the mystery remained. Now I see why Prince Eugene was willing to send it despite objections. The relic that can't be immediately used is less important than overcoming the current crisis. Yidhir also felt he understood why Emperor Kalusa and Kishir were so keen to demand that specific relic. Kishir would certainly see enough value in the records alone to merit further research. So I got this mirror of truth to examine that relic. Although it's not greatly needed now, I suppose we will use it when the time comes. Dude, that is totally a foreshadowing. They definitely have to use it. As they conversed, their carriage smoothly crossed into the Imperial Palace grounds. Looking out the window at the rooftops and walls of various palaces, Yidhir thought about the Imperial family dinner he would attend later that day. Today, he would be attending that gathering under the guise of accompanying Kishir along with Nathan Zuckerman. Only the emperor and his family could sit at the table in these official imperial family dinners held in the first palace, but that didn't mean others couldn't attend. Being allowed to accompany someone to this secretive and familial setting was considered a great honor for those close to the imperial family. Yidhir had been summoned to Emperor Kashtian's dining table several times in his previous life, so he was well aware of the fact. However, the feeling he had then and now were quite different. Kishir, who had come to know of a future that might or might not happen, wondered how he would face the one who had once taken everything from him and the emperor. By the way, I heard the crown prince replied that he would attend the meal and plans to be accompanied by Kyul Diarka, Kishir remarked. At that moment, it seemed Kishir had the same thought as Yidhir. Is that so? That's good news. Yes, it is. When you see him, make sure to ask about the healers who have been staying in the Crown Prince's palace for a long time. Either had already planned to do so. He had been wondering when he would get the chance to meet, but now he knew the crown prince was coming. There was no need to worry. As he thought about how to squeeze answers out of Keol, who might be feeling uneasy by now, Kishir asked another question. What role did he play in the previous game? Are you referring to Keol? He could be considered a card that never came into play. A card that never came into play. A card that couldn't even participate in the game meant an early death. The man who repeated Yudha's words seemed to understand the implication quite easily. Is that why you went out of your way to rescue him during the Eastern mission? Because he was an unforeseen variable? After learning of the future, when Kishir heard Keol's name, he seemed to think of Yudhar's past actions in that light. While it was true that Yudhar had gone out of his way to save Keol, he hadn't really hoped for him to become a significant variable. After a moment of contemplation, Yudhar spoke. That's one way to see it, but I didn't have high expectations. The main reason I saved him back then was because I didn't like the way Nahan spoke. Somehow, I ended up using Keol as an informant. Keol was indeed a strange variable. In his previous life, he might have died and disappeared, but now he was alive and well, serving as a knight for Kashtian, something even Yudhar hadn't expected. Nahan's words? Was there anything other than what you reported at that time? Yudhar hadn't spoken in detail about the events of that time, but now there was nothing more to hide. When Nahan tried to suppress me to kill Keol, I didn't like the way he insisted he was always right and tried to command me. He tried to command you? Even if Keol was worthless, that can't be a good reason to follow the logic of someone like Nahan. There is only person who can command me. I had no reason to follow Nahan's orders. The only person who can command Yudhar looked at him. Was that the real reason you came back injured? ... Really? Yudhar thought Kishir would find this ridiculous, but when Kishir looked at him with fiery eyes, Yudhar realized he was mistaken. Unexpectedly, without any questions or persuasion, Kishir leaned in, grabbed Yudhar's chin and kissed him. The sensation of a hot tongue filling his mouth made Yudhar's head spin. Slowly, Yudhar wrapped his arms around Kishir's neck. The carriage travelled in silence for a long time. Oh, I miss these unexpected kisses. Good one, Kishir, good one. Naturally, even if it was an informal and secretive dinner gathering, any event held in the imperial palace required proper preparation and procedure. Yudhar stood alongside Nathan Zuckerman behind Kishir, who was dressed in formal attire adorned with the coat of arms of Duke Paleta. Though not as extravagant as the outfits he'd wear to parties, their attire still clearly marked them as Kishir's people. As they entered the designated dining area where the emperor and his family were to have a comfortable meal, the chief attendant, now familiar with them, politely bowed. Welcome, Your Grace. Both His and Her Majesties have already arrived. Please proceed inside. How unfortunate. I appeared to be the latecomer despite having called for the meal. Kishir chuckled as he walked in. Yudhar, who was following him, only realized a moment later that the chief attendant was smiling softly in his direction. What's going on? Baron Ale, I was worried as you are focusing on your recovery these past few days. I'm delighted to see you in good health. Thank you for your concern. Don't mention it. Although it was an adequate exchange of pleasantries, the chief attendant's sincere smile made Yudhar uncomfortable. He followed Kishir inside, unable to adapt to the chief attendant's breezy, almost flirtatious demeanor. But the unfamiliar winds didn't stop there. Welcome, Baron. If you hadn't fully recovered, you could have rested. I hope you weren't dragged here needlessly by the Duke. The Duke told me you made good use of the sachet of herbs I gave you while you were resting. I have prepared more for you to take home tonight. I hope you will use it. Yes, thank you. Though he didn't look as healthy as an average person, the Emperor's eyes were significantly more at ease than before, and the Empress, seemingly relieved from all her past sufferings, wore a flower-like expression as they continually spoke to Yudhar. Kishir looked as though all the fuss around Yudhar was as pleasant as a luring songbird. Even Nathan Zuckerman, who normally would have been wearing a complex expression in such situations, seemed to take it all in stride. The atmosphere in the dining area was genuinely warm. Ultimately, due to the Empress even going so far as to say, traditionally, companions may only join after the meal is done, but for Baron Ale, surely it's alright. Yudhar found himself wishing that Crown Prince Kashtian would arrive sooner rather than later. And right on cue, an announcement was made that Crown Prince Kashtian had arrived. The Crown Prince has entered. The chief attendant's emotionless voice accompanied the opening of the door, and the previously jovial atmosphere vanished as if it had never existed. ... In the ensuing silence, Crown Prince Kashtian moved to his seat with Kiol following him. Yudhar caught a fleeting glimpse of Kiol, who twitched his shoulders and made a strange face as their eyes met. Evidently, Kiol had not known Yudhar would be present. Just pretend you don't know me and keep quiet. Upon receiving Yudhar's stern look, Kiol immediately flinched and took his position behind the Crown Prince. Greeting to His Majesty the Emperor and Her Majesty the Empress. A sharp-eyed youth, appearing even younger than his years, extended his greeting with impeccable courtesy. The Empress quietly spoke to him. "You're late, Crown Prince." One of the newly arrived attendants failed to properly prepare the ceremonial attire. Despite rushing as much as possible, he inevitably ended up being late. It appears there were mistakes due to the overly abrupt summons. While explaining the reason, there was no apology for the lateness. Moreover, there was an unspoken criticism towards the one who had hastily called him over. It was a condescending approach. Yudhar caught the glance of a young man covertly scanning the Emperor's pallid cheeks and puffy eyes. He guessed why the boy was here. He must have wanted the opportunity to closely observe and judge the Emperor's condition, especially since the Emperor has only recently begun appearing at official banquets. The Emperor had yet to disclose his condition publicly. Aware of the Crown Prince's intent to covertly gauge whether he was on the verge of death or not, the Emperor said nothing and quietly drank his water.